What a weapon. I didn't expect that much power and that head to perform like it did. That is better than a metal blade for sure. Now next to me, I've got the brand new STIHL FSA400, the world's most powerful cordless brush cutter. Now the FS411, the tried and tested petrol version. This machine is very comparable in power, but I think we ought to put it to the test. Now this isn't just another run-of-the-mill cordless brush cutter. Oh no, this is a clearing saw. So the range of attachments you can fit to the bottom is vast. So in this video we're going to cut long grass, we're going to do some short grass, we're going to delve into some bramble and even fell some small trees. But before we do that, let's line it up against the FSA120 and FSA200 that we got our hands on last year and actually see where the differences lie. Now last year we were lucky enough to get our hands on the brand new range of AP STIHL cordless brush cutters, and that included the FSA120 to my right and the FSA200 to my left. Now the FSA120, perfect for lightweight commercial use, trimming round edges and light brush cutting. Move your way up to the FSA200. If you're cutting heavier growth, you get more power and you have that anti-vibration elements, but they're a little bit limited because you can't put a mulching blade on or a circular saw blade, and that is really where the FSA400 comes into play. With the FSA120, that weighs in at 4.3 kilos. Move on up to the FSA200, that's 5.7 kilos. The FSA400 is 7.1. Now, interesting fact, the FS411, the petrol version, is 8.7 kilos. Now, these are all dry weights on the battery, and including obviously the petrol version. Now, I'm going to run this with an AP500S battery today, which is 2 kilos. So add that on to your 7.1, that now gives you 9.1 kilos. Opposed to 8.7 on the petrol version. But again, that's dry weight, so there's no fuel in it. So you put on another sort of kilo's worth of fuel, then it's heavier than the cordless equivalent. So now we've got a heavier duty machine and a better cutting capacity. It means the broad range of attachments has now been increased. So we can cut grass, we can do bramble, we can fit what they call a PolyCut head-on, which is what I would say is a halfway house between nylon line and a blade. You can get the heavy dutiness of a blade, but also the finish of nylon. Saplings, WoodCut blades, basically like a toothed blade that you can get right into woody material. Move on up to a trim cut. So if you like a manual feed head, that's the one for you. Different cutting guards. Go up to a DuraCut, that's got a ratchet system in there, so you can fit heavier duty nylon in, and it's on little tiny strands and it won't pull back out again. Very quick and easy system. And then that thing there, like a satellite, is your shredder blade and shredding guard, and that is what I'm going to fit up first to cut some bramble. So I'm going to be utilising STIHL's brand new Advanced X-Flex FSA harness. Now this is an awesome bit of kit, and we have done a video on this, so if you are interested in this, you can check back at our other videos. But basically this is a universal harness. You can fit it up for forestry as well as brush cutting. It's very comfortable. You can put all these different pouches in it, so I'm going to put a spare AP500S battery in that pouch, and I can put consumables in another pouch like my trimming line or tools or anything like that. It will just make it so much more easier and more comfortable to use. Now the FSA400 will come with a normal crossover harness if you were to buy it, so this is actually an added extra, but it's definitely worth the money. Certainly got me work cut out here. I get all the good jobs around the farm, don't I? All the hot ones in the sweatiest and probably hottest days that we're going to have in the spring. Anyway, I think I've got the tool for the job, and fitting it up with that shredding blade will hopefully just mince everything down. So instead of using a normal 3-pointed metal blade, which will leave the debris left on the top, this thing will hopefully just smash everything to pieces. So we have been in here before with a ride-on brush cutter. It's now grown back up again. There's nettles, there's brambles, there's, oh, God knows what else in there. So let's get going. He is absolutely flying for it. There is certainly no lack of power. What I really like about it is the balance as well. So you've got 10 positions on the anti-vibration casing down here on the side of the strimmer, which you can then hook your harness onto. So depending on where you want your balance, it's really nice. The FSA400 has got a very similar design to this as well, where you've got all your controls on this button up here on the handle, so you can change your speed settings. So you've got 3 different speed settings, and your on and off is all up on this handle. So yeah, really nice to use. Now, we know it ticks the boxes for land clearance, but what about in forestry work? So if you were clearing saplings, or it could be things like rhododendron or holly or anything like that. So I think next job is to fit up the WoodCut blade and head into the woods and see if we can cut back some thick material. There's a nice range of blades that's on offer for this FSA400. So you start off with your normal 3-pointed brush cutting blade. You then move up to a grass cut blade, which is a little bit thinner. You'll get a little bit more speed and it's a little bit lighter weight. Obviously, denser vegetation. Then we move up to a woodcut blade, which, look at it, it's like a, what do you call it, a Chinese Death Star. Whee! But it's serrated, and that's designed for more woody material. But the blade I'm going to use today is this beauty. Look at that. So that is, again, another woodcut type of blade, but on the end you've actually got, well, it's almost like chainsaw chain tooth sort of. They're hooked. So that is designed to basically saw through thick material. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And what I have done as well is I've actually fitted up the proper guard for these blades down there. Now it's a nice small guard, so you get better visibility of what you're cutting. You shouldn't get snagged up like you would with a plastic blade. And that's what I'd always recommend, is using the proper guard for the right blade. Anyway, let's whack this one on and go and cut some wood. What should you do? Start off with blade speed 1. Nah, let's crank it right up. Let's cut 3. Bloody hell, man. What a weapon. Yo, that's got to be, what, 2.5 inches? It just sliced right through it. I am super impressed with that. Right, let's fit up, should we say, the PolyCut blade head now, and head and cut some rushes. So ordinarily, I would normally use a metal blade on rushes and any sort of dense undergrowth, but I thought as we got the PolyCut blade here, we can see what it actually does. So there's 2 swing tip blades on this one, and you take the head apart like so. That then fits in, and then we can screw that back on our gearbox assembly. Now the design is obviously suited for going into anywhere where there may be stuff hidden, so you could have rocks or sticks or stakes or anything like that. So these are designed to basically swing back under, protect the head. Bit different to a metal blade, because obviously a metal blade, if you hit anything hard, it will just shock it and it will just stop pretty sudden, or it will just damage into the blade or the material you're cutting. Or nylon, where you'll use nylon quite quickly, especially in thicker undergrowth. So like I said at the start, it sort of gives you that happy medium between 2 different cutting attachments. So let's get this one tightened up and then go and cut some rushes. This is probably our worst nightmare on the farm. This stuff grows like nobody's business. It's so damp down here, you can cut it back, and by the time you turn around, it's already shot back up again. So it's thick in the bottom, so this is why we need something that's bladed. So that's why we're going to use the PolyCut blade head. But it's too dense for nylon, so your normal string that you use in your auto cut head. So let's try it with the PolyCut, see what it does. If we need to put a metal blade on, we can. But like I say, the beauty behind that is in areas like underneath the hedgerow where we haven't actually tackled, it means if we do hit anything hard, we're not going to do too much damage to the machine. Probably break a plastic blade at the worst. Right, so I'm using the Brushcutter currently on speed setting 1. There's obviously 3 different speed settings. I'm going to crank it up to full speed in a minute and see how much quicker we can clear off these rushes. But there's a handy little feature built into this machine, and it's automatic RPM adjustment. So it's a bit like a load sensor, so it senses if you've got, well, the different heads on for a start. So if you've got an AutoCut head on there, it gives you a maximum speed of 5,000 RPM. If you've got a PolyCut head or any blade system, it basically ups the speed to 6,900 RPM. Now, this is to give you more efficiency and more battery runtime. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of it and how it actually works, but I think it's a handy little feature to have on. So that's blade speed 1. Blade speed 2. And check this out. Blade speed 3. Look at that! That is awesome! Look at that! I feel like a bloody robot here going at it. I love it! Look at this! This is bloody awesome, man! I'm literally like a man possessed. I didn't expect that much power and that head to perform like it did. That is better than a metal blade for sure. Right, nettles. Nettle's no problem, and I love that PolyCut blade. There's no getting away from it. It's so universal. You could use it on grass, you could use it on heavier material. But the big question is, with a machine this size, how easy is it to use it in a normal garden environment? So let's go and trim some borders around the garden. Now, like me, when it comes to cutting borders, I'm sure you've all got a lighter weight strimmer, because there's nothing worse than lugging around a heavier brush cutter for doing lighter work. Now, harness and this assembly on the side of the brush cutter obviously gives us better balance, but what is it really like at cutting and trimming around edges? 520mm cutting capacity at the bottom, which is huge. So if you've got awkward areas, obviously it's not going to be designed for that. But if you've got large grass areas that you want to clear down, you are going to get a lot of work done with this brush cutter. Now, runtime, I haven't mentioned yet. AP500S battery that we're using today, you can get 40 minutes runtime with a PolyCut head. That is reduced slightly if you're using the AutoCut or bladed systems, but like I said, it is the amount of work you can do with this machine. So that is 4 very different tasks all completed with one brush cutter. Now tell me there's another cordless brush cutter on the market that can do all of that. It's perfectly well balanced, and the nice thing with it, because you haven't got that bulkier petrol engine at the back that you're swinging about, it makes it feel like a cordless machine, but having the features and benefits of a petrol machine. So having the big guard on the bottom, I wouldn't say it is cumbersome, but doing lawn edging in tight areas obviously isn't going to be ideal. So I would probably suggest to put that PolyCut blade on with a smaller guard, get everything a little bit narrower and a bit closer so you can get in and do those more awkward areas. But one thing's for sure, there's no vibration or very little vibration, and it is so quiet. Construction wise, it's got a lovely stainless steel filter on the back, and it is also IPX4 rated, so it means it's weather resistant in any weather condition. So that is the FSA400, STIHL's answer to a cordless clearing saw. It is an absolute beast. Now, I've linked 2 videos at the end of this one, the FSA120 and FSA200, and also the harness assembly that I was wearing earlier, the Advanced X Flex. Now that is down in that corner. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, ding the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheerio!